Viewers, thank you so much for joining us. And I have Geoff with me. He has, he's, I think better Geoff will introduce himself. And so Geoff, uh, it will be great if you
Yep.
introduce and tell us your journey so far, and then
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
take it from there.
Okay, as I said, my name's Geoff Strudwick, and I'm a transformational coach, hypnotherapist, and basically focusing on empowering people through this time of change. So I think I've been on a journey for the last, maybe a long time, we'll just sort of say. And originally I started off as wanting to become an actor. And I was reading a book to learn how to actually sort of more acting techniques and some tools about acting. And I was actually, it was a book by Anthony Robbins called Unlimited Power. And I thought, wow, this is really amazing, where I'm learning about the brain and how the brain works and how we can actually motivate it, which is really good because at the time I was studying to become a professional actor. So I was studying things like sense memory and how to actually get emotions and certain things in certain scenes. So as I sort of started reading this book, there was a challenge put in the first book, part of the book, where Tony had sort of said only 1 out of 10 people would actually finish this book. And I was never really keen on reading and following those kind of stuff. So I thought, oh my God, it sounds like a challenge. So then when I thought, I'm so wanting to finish this book just for the challenge itself. Yeah. So I never forget that I was actually at a DJing a Christmas function and just waiting while everyone was eating. I was just finishing off the last chapter of the book. And I remember I finished off the last word and I slammed it down. I went, wow. and then you got me. But I use that as powerful tools to transform my life, and actually using it to, I think it was my awakening of discovering that we have more potential than we actually even know.
Yep.
And through that book and through the study, that I was able to develop more resources to create a bit of change, or actually change my mood, or being not at the effect of the world, but being at cause of the world. And through that, I went on and studied many teachers around the world, people to Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dwyer, and actually really started a spiritual journey, and started connecting with consciousness, and then studying hypnosis and hypnotherapy, doing a diploma of hypnotherapy and strategic psychotherapy, doing various differences of hypnosis through Milton Erickson, learning how he actually sort of communicated things, and through a very easy, natural way of hypnotherapy, through to a lot more George Esther books and other stuff, and through NLP, and then having a spiritual journey, traveling around India, going to the One World Academy, and just really connecting with consciousness. And deep down, I think my focus has been helping other people awaken to their unlimited potential.
The theme of this talk show is being a seeker, and and as you said, like, you had a great journey so far, and that took you to India in search of I don't know, like, was it in search of something, or you're seeking something, or how did you why did you go there?
Two reasons. I think there was something inside of me that was wanting to learn more, and I was always fascinated by a spiritual journey. And then the other thing is chasing some girl.
Oh, wow.
So it was a combination of the spiritual aspect of it, and then following the heart. But
so following heart and mind both, right?
Exactly. The spiritual aspect was a hell of a lot more powerful and more successful.
Yeah. That's good. So,
but I think for me personally, I think being a seeker, I think it's probably been at least 25, maybe 30 years of being a seeker. And I think probably roughly about when Princess Diana died, That was probably the start of my journey, where it just did not fit, just did not make sense, and I knew that there was something a bit different in that experience. So I started just questioning the reality, what we've been portrayed, and then from a deeper level, I had a dear friend of mine, another friend of mine, who put me through a past life regression, and then I experienced myself in another body. I think it was like Braveheart or Scottish times, and it was just a unique experience.
Nice.
And I think that you just let go of, you realize that you're a hell of a lot more than this body, and that there's something that's so magical about it.
Right.
So yeah, ever
You
since
want
then,
to, yeah. So you want to talk about your experience, because we both know each other and know that we have been through this journey for some time, quite some time, and
amazing.
so I would like to know your experience on what did you see there, and how was your experience in past life regression? If you can share in very brief.
I think it was a surrender of, I experienced myself in another time, another dimension, another reality, but also a huge connection with source, and this connection with the universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it. But just this vast experience that was just beautiful and surreal, and taking that through, that has been so magnificent in dealing with such tragedies in my life. Just 6 or 7 years ago, I had my father just pass away, and he went through 18 months of hell going through with motor neuron disease. And as horrible as an experience as that was, and it was something that you wouldn't wish upon anyone. It was hell on earth every moment, but I was able to see the gift in there, and actually able to surrender and help my father in that passing period. And it wasn't because of the experiences of being in a past life regression, and connecting with source, and being a bit of a seeker at the time. It was so beneficial that I could be strong for my father during that particular time, and care for him, and love him, and do the things that I needed to do, or a good son would do. So even through that most painful parts of life, having that connection with source, and connection with something bigger than yourself is so powerful.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of these techniques, where it will take you to a different level, different dimension.
Yep.
And a person who has experienced it, he only can understand how does it feel. So I can understand very well, because I have been through this journey myself, and understand your feeling, how it would have been. So thanks for sharing that, Geoff.
Yes.
Now, I'm getting emails and messages from a lot of people from different location, and they all, like, we have the theme is being a seeker. So they all have some kind of aspirations on seeking something. We're seeking something. When I say seeking something, it is not particularly related to spiritual seeking, but there are people who are seeking for wealth. There are people who are seeking for good, satisfying relationship. There are people seeking for good job. So what is your advice, or what is your comment on this?
Okay, I think firstly, asking appropriate questions. Firstly, so what is it you really want? So what do you want? Why do you want it? What's going to happen if you get it? A great phrase of questions, or we use in NLP, and it's called Cartesian logic. It's a mathematical equation brought into language, but it's a great way of actually introducing a bit higher dimension in thinking of the process of what you need to do. So we ask a question of, what would happen if you achieve that, and what won't happen if you achieve that. What will happen if you don't achieve that, and what won't happen if you don't achieve that. So it gives a bit more of an added dimension into thinking of how you can actually, so like, what are the results? What's the motivation? What do you want? If I get the job that I want, well, what will happen is that I'll be very happy. I'll be able to look after my family. I'll be able to do X, Y. If I don't get that job, what will happen? Well, then I won't be happy, or I won't be, I'll be doing a job that I hate. So then what won't happen if you don't get it? Well, then I won't be able to sort of take care of my family.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I have one question here. When you are talking about lots of different sorts of questions for these people, and you have also said about NLP. So what is NLP exactly? Can you put throw some light on this? What is NLP?
Okay. NLP stands for neuro, which is for the brain, linguistic, which is the language, and programming. And it was created by Richard Bandler and John Grinder in the 1970s and 75. And they were what they wanted to do is actually model 3 amazing therapists and help and understand how they can actually achieve great therapy sessions from so easily and effortlessly. So the first person that they modeled was a guy called Milton Erickson. And Milton Erickson had a very relaxing kind of approach of very kind of working in your subconscious mind. And he would sort of have a very kind of laid back kind of approach where people don't realize that he's creating change through the way he talks. So Milton Erickson would go on and start to talk about things like when someone will come and see him about losing weight, and Milton Erickson will say and find out about the person and start to just have a general conversation with people and start to just put him down in a deep trance. And he'll do certain things that will just start to talk about metaphorically stories and how people could just easily and effortlessly change. And so when people were around Milton Erickson, they noticed that they were just going into a deeper trance and just getting down in a deeper, relaxing state. But then again, so they found, wow, this is really amazing that Milton Erickson could actually transform people's thinking just by stories and metaphors and other things, and without directly helping them. So it was almost getting them into a deep kind of trance, where then they actually interviewed another lady. I'm just trying to think of her name on the top of my head.
That's okay. That's okay. That's not important. Basically, I just wanted to give an idea about what is NLP to the viewers. So Geoff is actually a certified hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, and he is kind of
yes, I'm a trainer of NLP,
coach, yeah. So
therapy.
Yeah. So you are deft in almost all the modalities that people are trying to achieve. So you've been working with so many different people around the globe. That's a great thing, and it is privileged to know you and to chat with you right now.
and equally, it's such a privilege to share with you and know with you, and you've helped me in so many ways with your work as well. And that was been the cosmic consciousness is such was an amazing experience and breathtaking and
so I have another question on your modality, on how when a person comes to you with his issues, with his problems, and because we all go through some kind of issues in our life. So we have certain things in our mind which take us to the same similar situation again and again, and we just want to come over it.
So you want to break that pattern, is it?
Yeah. So the therapist and healers say that breaking the pattern, but usually people don't understand that they have to break that pattern. So how you make them understand? How you tell them that there's something you are trapped in and you need to come out of it.
Okay, I think there's a couple of ways to look at it. Firstly, in a nutshell, we want to probably get a bit of leverage on the person. So make sure that they're ready to change at the moment. And I think the key is, as a therapist or as a healer or as a coach or as anybody, firstly is asking important questions. So why must this person change? Why must you change now? So if you don't get leverage on someone, you can do all the amazing techniques. You can do so much stuff. But if you can't get enough person to actually create that change, that leverage on themselves to change, that why they must make this now, it's going to be hard work. We can still do it, but we want to create lasting change. So we need to get leverage on someone. So why must you change? So what's something that we can ask them questions. So what will happen, again, going back to those questions of using Cartesian logic, which is just asking what will happen if this happens, what won't happen, what will happen, what won't happen if that won't happen, what won't happen if that happens.
Yeah.
So getting more of a stronger reason why someone must change. If you can get like leverage on someone, whether it's family or that maybe to inspire my family, or to be a better husband, or be a better lover for my partner, or to be something that if you can get motivation of something that's actually find what's personal for you. So understanding that kind of concept. But then I think we do a thing called a pattern interrupt. So we want to break the pattern of that behavior. So we get, if say you want to break a certain pattern. So there's a couple of ways we can do is things like swish patterns, which we can actually change the actual way it's processed in the brain. But we can also ask something that's actually do a thing called pattern interrupt, which we can actually interrupt the behavior by asking something unique or something stupid, or getting you out of that different kind of thinking that you're in beforehand. So, for example, you could be, say, a smoker.
Yeah.
And you want to do it as a pattern interrupt for the smoking there. So just get in the state when you really, okay, why must you quit? Because I want to get healthy, do that stuff. I want to look after that. So you can, I want to see my child graduate, whatever. That could be a reason to which we find why they must change. So as they get in the state of just thinking about, now just get in the habit of where you start thinking about the smoking, just get in the habit, what's the process you're going to do before you do that? And then ask you something really stupid that takes you out of the consciousness there. So ask you a question like, okay, now start thinking about smoking, what's the urge that has to happen? Then as they're in that state, when they're just ready on the urge, ask them something stupid like, have you ever seen a hippo wearing a tutu?
Okay.
And see how your reaction there, just that reaction, that laugh there, created an external thing where you had to get outside of yourself and visualize something that you hadn't seen or create in your head.
Right.
Hippo. And so that actually created a slight pattern interrupt. So if you do something that's actually unique and different and bizarre, that can actually then create a pattern interrupt.
Got it. So I think lots of viewers who are actually aspiring to become a hypnotherapist or NLP practitioner, these techniques are definitely going to help them. My question is a bit different. So, some people come to me and they say that my husband is behaving with me like this. So how can I mend my husband, or how can I mend my wife, or right? So they want to change other person and not themselves.
Okay.
In that case, what is your how you are going to deal with such
I think
situation?
the first thing is that you've got to change. Don't try and change the other person.
Hmm.
That's the mistake that most people are trying to do. So you've got to change yourself. So don't try and change the other person, but either change what you will tolerate or what you won't tolerate,
Hmm.
and what you stand for. But also change the meaning of what that could be, if it's something small or whether it's big, or whether you go, hang on, that's actually a deal breaker. I think it's more important to actually be truthful to who you actually are first, and working on being on that ideal person of who you need to be. I think it also comes about clarity about what we just sort of said earlier, going back to what we just stated. The most important thing is getting clear about what you want, who you want to be, what you want to stand for.
Hmm.
That's part of the key. I think then from that point of view, you can actually work towards becoming an agreement with someone, or doing some sort of a change and say, let's work on this. This is something that I don't want to actually have in my life, or I do want to have that in my life. But then working on agreement. Not if say someone comes to you and says, how can I change that person?
Hmm.
The person may change, but then the relationship dynamic might go, so how can you actually change the meaning of the event for yourself, or how can I actually make this work, or am I sort of selling some part of myself to actually please this person,
Right.
or
Right.
what do I need to do? So I think the thing is, when you try and change someone, that's not when the danger signs comes up, because you may actually change a person, but then what happens is that you move from having a lover to a best friend, which then that'll affect the thing that you're actually attracted to about the person.
Right. Right. So, so what I understand is, it is very important to recognize that the change will happen within you and not the other person. People are actually, the mind is very rigid. It is not ready to, it is not ready to take the fact that he or she needs to change. And
Yeah,
they are always trying to make changes in others' behavior, others' thought process. So that's the biggest challenge which a practitioner can face.
yeah. I think, look, there's things that you can actually do to influence it and influence the person, and you can sort of help them make better choices. But one of the key things that we sort of say in life or in NLP, and it's on day one of the NLP training, then it's a day one of NLP Master Prac training, it's a day one of NLP trainers training. It's a universal thing we teach, is that, are you at cause or effect of your environment?
Mm, mm,
Which basically means, are you the person responsible for the things that happen to your life, or are you the effect of everything that happens to you? And what that means is that we could be in lockdown or COVID lockdown. That's an external event that happens, but the meaning of what that event can be is totally up to you. Whether you can use that as an opportunity to awaken and discover what's going on, and have your own dark night of the soul, or experience a new reality, or you can actually go, well, this is a time for me to actually look inside my
mm.
life and see, where am I happy with? Where am I happy with my career? Am I happy with my relationship? Am I happy with this? And then use that. Or you can use this as saying, oh, the government are trying to lock us down, take away our freedoms, or do certain things. Um, I've actually had a very different approach. We've been in lockdown in Sydney,
Uh-huh.
and there's rules and things that's been taken away from most people out there. But because I knew what the legal aspects were and what things were happening, so we are in Sydney at the moment. But to me, it's been totally normal. I can't play a game of poker. That's probably my only difference. Have I worn a mask in Sydney? No, I haven't. And people have told me it's actually it's illegal not to wear a mask. I said, hang on. it's a mandate not to wear a mask. It's not legal. It's not legislation. It's a mandate.
Mandate, yeah.
Being aware and actually being a cause of my life, that
Mhm.
I've taken responsibility for my health.
Mm.
I've also said, okay, well, I know what my legal rights are. And if anyone questions me, well, then I'm also medically exempt from wearing a mask.
Yeah, so ideally, you need to be aware of what is going in and around your
Yep.
life. So even in the COVID situation, if you are aware of the laws, if you are aware of the people around you, so the keyword is awareness, and awareness is very important when we are in the process of spiritual seeking. Awareness is key. Each and every aspect of our body or our thought process, emotions, the things that is going with us. If you are aware of that, uh, uh, most of the problems of our life will be sorted out.
Yes.
Ideally.
I think there's a beautiful, I got a spiritual teacher on YouTube. She's an Australian lady. She lives in the Blue Mountains, named JCK.
Okay.
Amazing, beautiful spiritual teacher. And that's one of the things I've really focused on during this time is just listening to absolutely every seeker, as you sort of say. And she sort of said, I don't know whether she was relaying someone else's information, but I think it's a very important thing to do. And to do, as an individuals and every one of us, that I recommend that we all do a declaration of sovereignty. So in our own space, that I am a sovereign being. I have my own rights. I'm not going to be guided by the negative forces or doing the certain things. And actually, I declare my sovereignty. And you do that almost like spiritually, in a way of actually as a declaration to yourself. I am a sovereign being. I'm healthy, that no beings control over me. I'm no governments control over me. No certain things.
Yeah. So actually, I have a question on this. I have heard a lot of people are talking about affirmations, repeating same thing and again, going to change your life or things around you. So my question is, do you think just by repeating certain sentence, it will have the ability to change your life?
100%.
Okay. So can you explain this?
I think one of the things is that we're in an amazing stage in the world. And I think that people realize that with this lockdowns and all the things that's happening in the moment, that the powers that be are trying to teach you, or not to remind you how powerful you truly are. And I think the statement of I am, and from a point of gratitude, I am love, I am abundant, I am free. And just being in that state and that certainty of knowing it. The most amazing thing is that, as you were aware of, and I'm aware of, and we've had this conversation before, that we are the most amazing, abundant creatures. We are gods walking on the planet. We are so amazing. We have the ability to heal our bodies in so many different ways immediately, just by tapping into a cosmic divine or wonderful consciousness. I've had experiences where I've been where I've been on a seeker experience and I haven't been working or having any money come through, and I've been down to my last 10 cents. And but because I've had times where I was generous and helping other people, and I just surrendered to the universe, where I've had people come up to me where I'm doing my research in the library and I've got no money coming in till tomorrow or a couple of days time. And I've got down to the last 10 cents, where I've had people come into me and just say, oh mate, let's go to lunch. And I was starving, but just being surrendered to that. So there is this amazing ability in the in the universe. And I just had a bit where I was trying to relaunch my business, and I had no clients coming in. And then I was like down to my last savings, and then I just got a huge check back from the government.
Okay.
And so I think this surrendering and seeing things that we can actually create and manifest, 100%. And look at yourself and the beautiful family you manifested yourself, and your lovely daughter today.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I understand is just by repeating things again and again, without having any connection or any, I don't know, like what is the right word for that. But if you are in sync with the creation or in sync with the that intelligence, cosmic intelligence, and then you are repeating it, definitely this is going to manifest. But
100%.
But without being aware or without being conscious, if you are repeating things maybe a million times, it is not going to work. That's what I can understand. Very important to connect with the creation or the cosmic intelligence or whatever you say, whatever you name it. So that's the most important thing.
100%. And I think, but also what happens is if you look at the name of television, and it's called television programming, and it's there programming you to think a certain way and behave a certain way.
Yeah.
And if you understand how the dark ones and all these people that have tried to control us by getting us to focus on what they want, not what we want.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's the power of what we're starting to understand of what we're truly capable of doing. And so as we start to create this amazing new world, I mean, I'm absolutely 100% convinced though that we are in this dawn of this amazing existence at the moment. Yeah. And when we come outside of this COVID, man, we are going to experience wealth and abundance like we've never experienced before. Access to so much amazing technologies, and it's very exciting. But most people,
right?
And you know as well as I know that there's so much beauty and abundance just around the corner for us.
Yeah, that's right. And we think that, I mean, definitely this is going to be a game changer after this COVID. Lots of people are waiting for this pandemic to get over, and then, of course, the whole world will change. So,
and what's beautiful is that people are now starting to actually understand their own healing journey.
Yeah.
I remember seeing, I don't know if you're aware of Greg Braden and Professor Bruce Lipton.
Yeah, Bruce Lipton. Yeah.
And I remember Greg actually was talking about the power of consciousness and understanding healing, where there was a video footage of a lady in Southeast Asia, and they had a sonogram of it inside around her uterus, and it looked like she had a tennis ball sized tumor. And on the video, you can actually see she's working with 3 spiritual masters, and they were doing the just sort of focusing on that, and they were saying something over again. I think you were healed, you were purely healed, your whole body is free and free. That they've already done that stuff, and I kid you not, on the sonogram which has got the cancer on the screen, and we're watching it in 20 minutes actually go from the size of a tennis ball through to a grain of rice.
Okay.
20 minutes.
20 minutes? Oh.
20 minutes. So we have this amazing ability.
Yeah, basically it's all about the vibration that we are experiencing. So we are not the physical body, we are just the vibration. And 100%. The whole cosmos is vibration, and it has amazing power. So if you vibrate, the vibration is hitting it, definitely this is going to dissolve. So
You're also aware of the technology that's been hidden as well. So not only can we actually reach that consciousness and healing, but there's the technology that's supposedly created by Nikola Tesla, and they talk about the medbed technology, which is using again that vibrational frequency for healing the body at a higher level. And I know that you've done the work of vibrational healing, and as I said, it is one of the most amazing experiences of my life doing that. And
yeah. So I think we are. I don't want to end this conversation because
mate, I'm happy to have as long as you need.
This is going to be very interesting. But I know that you are almost maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 a.m. Sydney
I'm
time.
here. I'm here for you and whatever you need. So if you want me to keep going, I'm happy to go.
So it must be getting late. Must be getting late for you as well.
Right. I'm here to serve you and you and your clients and people.
Yeah.
Anything.
So we will be actually continuing. We have lots of topics to discuss, and we will be keeping this series on.
Been exciting, and I think we've gone through it a little bit more, so we can probably be a little bit more specific with your audience next week. And so
exactly. So next week we are going to take a specific topic and we'll talk on this.
And anyway, that as a coach and healer, and I can work with people or do with people like
So actually I was about to say that whatever you can you can talk to our audience so that like they can reach you. What is the best way they can reach you, Geoff?
Well, my website will be up by the end of the week, which is geoffstrudwick.com.
Great.
You can see.
Yeah.
And for anyone that does, I'm offering a free 2-hour session firstly. So for 2 hours, and we can discuss whether you're interested in hypnotherapy or actually hypnosis and actually overcoming things like mental health and actually depression or things that's going out there, or actually more of a clarity call and so saying, look, I'm not satisfied with my career, or I want to move to this direction. Right. I work with professionals, and I work with a lot of people out there that are more focused on actually have hit the point in their life where they want to awaken and actually identify that this is the path that I'm actually going. I work with more leaders and people that actually are awakened to a new opportunity. As the saying goes, I think I'm working for this. I'm looking for the sleeping lions in the community, not the sheep. If you're in there and you want to just listen to what the government's still saying, or just saying doing a job that you hate doing, or just an ordinary job, but that's your lot in life, well, I'm not the person to see. But if you want to actually be the person that's actually unleashed your unlimited potential and actually be challenged, and that's then I'm the person that I can still serve.
Great. So the guys, you can connect with Geoff. His Facebook ID, Geoff Strudwick. And
my website will be up.
Later
on. Designing my website and doing certain things. So, or you can actually reach out on Facebook as well, which is Geoff Strudwick.
Yeah, that's the easiest way. Else, the website is going to be up in a couple of weeks, and it will be available there. Yep. So I think we will close this conversation, Geoff, and we'll continue this series with a specific topic. We'll keep talking about it. And anyway, we have our podcast is coming up. So guys, don't miss our podcast. It is on anchor.fm/Shirendu/My Eternal Self. You'll enjoy our chat with Geoff and so many other.
And don't forget to subscribe as well on the website, on the YouTube, if it's going to be on YouTube.
Yeah. Don't forget to.
It's good for the algorithm. So on the bottom, click subscribe.
Don't forget to click that
Yeah.
bell button.
and share it with anyone.
Okay. Okay.
Let's
On
get
that note,
100,000 people. Let's get 100,000 people by Christmas.
yes, yes. Let's. Our subscribers. It's up to you. How fast you
Yep.
can grow, how fast you can multiply.
Yep. And we want to serve the planet, so we want to help. So whatever you need, we'll help. So
Cool.
you're
Okay.
obviously
So thanks, Geoff, and we'll connect back again.